the Everything But Politics podcast.
Welcome back to the 142nd edition of the Everything But Politics podcast. And with us today is my guy, Adrian Colbert. Great to be with you. 6 months removed from Luminate. And it's good to have you on our show, brother. How's everything been?
Everything has been, bro. That is exactly
Ooh,
all it's been.
I like that.
It has been, bro. It's been beautiful. It's been hard at moments. Been very much filled with a lot of love and learning opportunities and growth and fun. Like, it's been a lot of fun. I get to spend so much more time with my family now, and that has, brought so much joy to me. I didn't even realize I could even tap into, first of all. Being a professional athlete, being a collegiate athlete, being a dedicated athlete my entire life. It has, it has things you have to sacrifice, and time with family, friends is one of those things. So being able to actually have that time and be able to spend it with the people that I care about and love, and giving back to the community, I'm living life, brother.
Amazing. Beautiful. So, obviously most know you as a football player, but recently you've really taken a liking and more so a love for the game of golf, a game we love as well. So I want to start this podcast, Adrian, by asking you, what is a greater metaphor for life, football or golf?
Um, they both have their parallels, but like in
Mm.
this point in life, I find more of a connection with golf and the game of life, because the symmetries between them both are almost identical. And if you approach the game of life as a seasoned golfer approaches his game, then you would find it that you'll spend more days being happy. You'll choose to spend more days being happy than allowing things outside of you to control or determine how you feel.
And prior to you golfing, what was your outlook on life?
Um, I mean, my outlook has always been like, it's what you make it.
Definitely.
But it wasn't as meaningful as it is now to me when I say it, because I understand that. Like in the past, when uh, when I first had like developed a mindset, it was adopted from my dad, and I never understood it because it was never explained to me in a way that I might have found it digestible. And the more that I've been able to experience life and experience hardships, trauma, heartbreak, loss, death, joy, all the emotions, and actually find presence in them, I honestly wouldn't have been at this place that I am now with the mindset towards that.
Beautiful. Well, and you dealing with all these emotions and experiences and all the things that you've dealt with as a man, speak on the relationship between expectations and intentions.
So when you talk about like expectations and intentions, it takes me to a place where, you look at how expectations are linear. Like it's a linear process. There's no in between from what you expect out of somebody else, which you can't control what happens in between because it's your expectation, not their reality. Versus an intention, like you have an intention to go this way. You have an intention for this relationship to be this way. And if you want it to be there, it's going to take some work. And, sometimes work doesn't equate to success. So you end up falling short. But then if you keep going and you keep trying, then you still have a way to get to your intention because it's not linear.
So intentions, you intend for that thing or for that experience to happen, whereas an expectation, you expect it to happen, meaning it may not happen because you're not putting in the work to get there. Whereas if you intend for something to happen, you're gonna deliberately go out of your way to make that whatever the thing may be, you're gonna go out of your way to make that occur.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a time. It's all about endurance when it comes to
Mm,
intentions. Like it kind of reminds me of like the turtle race, the rabbit and the turtle.
yes, yes.
Like expectation, the rabbit expected to win. The turtle intended to win. Slow and steady wins the race.
No, yes, it does. That's a great analogy too. I haven't thought about the turtle versus the rabbit in a long time. That's a good one.
I just thought about that
And when you think about
Yeah.
your 2025 goals,
shit.
how do you use expectations and intentions to reach your ultimate goals in 2025 and beyond?
I think I've gotten to a place where I don't expect much.
Gotcha.
Like I really don't, because expectations lead to disappointment at most times. Not all the time, but most
Mm-hmm.
times. Because when you expect something, most of the time it's not even expecting something from yourself.
Fair.
So you expect somebody else to help you get somewhere, or you expect like your friends to support you on your path, or you expect like your parents to accept whatever you're choosing to do in your walk of life, but you can't control that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't control any of that. So I've kind of practiced it and made it a practice to, you know, not have expectations, but have intentions towards things that I want to work for. Like, because at the end of the day, that's all I can control. I can't control the outcome. I can't control, who supports me, but I can control the effort that I put into it.
No doubt. So, Adrian, if we were to have done this podcast 10 years ago in 2015, who would it be the Adrian we'd be speaking to?
Damn, that's a good question. Like a really good question. 2015, still in college, alcoholic, depressed, insecure, somebody that couldn't communicate to, save his life. Was trying to figure out where I was going in life, who I was, like who I didn't want to be, like all of these thoughts, and not to mention the hormones from all the women and the access and everything that college contained, and having to navigate that shit. I have no idea.
Wait, but I'm curious though, because you were prior to the NFL, you were in Austin, Texas, which is a great town, and then you went to Miami, Florida, which is a crazy town. What
Yeah.
was that decision for you?
I mean, it was honestly, it was my first like leap of faith, is what I like to refer to it as, because it was a decision that, one, like I had no family in Florida, I had no relations in Florida, I had no idea what was gonna happen. Like all I knew was that I had an opportunity to go and continue to play the game that I loved after one of my coaches told me I wasn't gonna be able to make it. Like when you have like that type of choice, like fuck that, I'm betting on myself. If I go out here and lose, I can't say I tried. But
Yeah.
if I stay here and I just submit and allow myself to just be pushed to the back of a roster and not given an opportunity, like then that's on me. It ain't on nobody else. It's not on coaches. It's not on the staff. It's not on anybody. It's on me because I didn't make a choice.
It's like you gotta pick and choose when you surrender,
Facts.
right?
Like you got to.
That
Like
ain't the time.
hell no, I was not giving up, bro. Because like that was a dream that I had since I was 5,
Yes.
and like the kid inside me today is like filled with fucking joy because I did it. And, I was able to do it for a long time. And it wasn't even about the money. It wasn't about the fame. It wasn't about the cars or all the external things. It was a defeat a dream, to obtain a dream that I had when I was 5. Like the kid is happy. I'm happy. Hey, we all happy.
You kept the
Yeah.
promise to your 5-year-old self.
Yeah, man. And that's cool. Like, and shout out to anybody that is doing that and is pursuing something that like they've wanted to do since they were a kid. They might not still be that kid that they were, but like deep down inside, that kid is still in you. And, it deserves to be acknowledged, loved, and, honored.
Well said.
And going back to what Merrick said about surrendering, when is a time to surrender?
I honestly don't know when it's not a time to surrender
Ooh.
because we feel like, and I used to feel this way often, like that we have so much control in this world, but we're only one of
8 billion.
8 billion
Yeah.
other energies. Like these are whole other worlds that are being lived.
Yep.
Like our world are not the same. Like my neighbor's world and my world are not the same. Like, and that's how it is in each household. It doesn't even matter if you live in the same household. Y'all don't live the same life. Y'all aren't thinking the same thoughts. Y'all
Oh.
aren't navigating the same exact experiences outside of y'all's container.
So how do you define surrendering?
Def- my definition, which I have not done, it's important. I should probably try that. But I'll just go off the top.
Yeah.
Like my definition is just letting go. Like if it feels rigid, just let go and don't get into that argument. Don't try to retaliate from something that has been done, or don't harness or try not to harness like negative energy that isn't serving you. People that aren't serving your purpose or where you want to go. Like I was just having this conversation today with my partner, and we were discussing the situation with me. Like I have a son from another woman, and I just went through a court case with her about me getting time with my son, and people are so confused as to just why I just forgive. Like why would I harness negative energy that will be passed along to my son? Like that doesn't resonate with me. And like as a embodiment and a light of love, I just choose that. I choose to be in the positive, be on the side of love, like that high frequency. And it's
I love that.
hard. It's hard. It's not easy. It's
No, what
not.
what are some practices that you do? Because I mean, just from this conversation alone, we could feel the calm, the peaceful energy that you bring to this podcast. When do you think that developed, and what techniques and skill, I guess, practices do you do daily to put your mindset in the right state of mind?
So I'll answer both of those.
Hmm.
One, when did it start? I honestly believe it started about a year before I went and did plant medicine, went and sat with ayahuasca.
Yep.
Um, Before, like it was always chaos. It was everything just felt like it was always moving. Like I was always doing something. I had to be here, had to be there. I got to go to this event. I got to go to that party. I got to go hang out here. I got to be on the phone. I got to be on the game. I got to be watching something. I always have to be doing something. And after that, like after like realizing that, I just started to slow down, like really slow. Like I started reading books. Like I read 60 books the year. So this was 2020, from 2023 March. Well, no, I started reading Labor Day. So I think September 1st.
Hmm.
September 1st to September 1st, I read 60 books. And I had never read over 3 books in my lifetime before then.
And that's when you stopped drinking too, correct?
Yeah, I stopped drinking. Like stopped drinking, started reading, just started trying new things. Like, man, I picked up a ukulele. Like I wanted to get one for my son, and then I
Nice.
started playing around with it, and I fell in love with it. Bought one, started playing that, just started challenging myself and just started trying to figure out like, who am I? Like, because if you believe the saying that a child is a sponge, then like we're all just embodiments of the conditioning of the people who we grew up around, teachers, parents, grandparents, friends, cliques, all the different things, and that we come to just pull into who we are. And after, I mean, even after the medicine, like the medicine just kind of brought me to like this level of awareness that, is, confident in the spirit and the light that is inside of everybody. Like it's very much inside of everybody because we're born with it. Like if you see how, if you ever get a chance, and do y'all have kids?
No,
No.
not currently.
So when you and I mean, I really would love to hear you guys' feedback on this, but
Hmm.
like when I had my son, like my life changed. Life changed. Like I saw love in physical form and just could not. Yeah.
Well, and you're not the first guest we've had who has mentioned that. We had Tariq Sharif on our podcast 2 weeks ago, and he discussed the same thing. Not only was it the love, but it was a huge motivating factor for him to succeed, to give his child a better life.
Absolutely.
And he,
Like
he also he also claimed that he never felt fear in his life until he found out his girl was pregnant.
uh, I mean, hey, to each his own experience.
Mm-hmm.
I felt fear many times, and I kind of grew up in. And if you grow up in like a type of hostile environment that
Mhm.
a lot of people do grow up in, I grew up in one, and you kind of numb yourself to it because that's like a part of your life. So I can never say that I've never experienced fear, but I lived in a place where I was numb to it because of everything that I grew up around.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, it is crazy. I mean, so from 5 years old, right? You have this dream of going to the NFL, being a professional football player, and then you do that, right? You get drafted, you achieve your dream. Is it just like, what does that feel like? Is it kind of just like a numb feeling, or is it like, are you on top of the world? I mean, I feel like
Uh,
there's such a mismatch in balance because
Especially controlling like an
yeah,
ego potentially.
you've been wanting this your whole life and you got it. And now like do you become complacent or do you become it's time to fucking work my ass off and get the next dream?
oh, it's definitely it's time to get to work. That's when the work really starts. The work doesn't start till after you get drafted. The draft part is, it's a journey. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a journey. But like that shit really starts to kick in because it's no longer like you're playing for fun. Like it's a business. So you're asking, you get fired in a heartbeat.
Yeah, no, it's cutthroat.
Yeah, for real.
It's cutthroat. So yeah, I mean,
Well, and
bro,
you've
it's go ahead, Evan.
I said you've also been on well over 5 teams now in the NFL. What's like the traveling like and just regrouping and having to go to all of these new cities?
Honestly, like as much of a blessing it is to, I've played for multiple teams and been in many cities, it's draining.
I'm sure.
It's like mentally and physically draining to, be shipped here and be shipped there and there and not appreciated and not valued or it's a business and when you experience injuries like your value continues to decrease and for me it was not my favorite part of it. um I could live without having to do that shit again.
I understand. Yeah, and to be completely transparent here, I'm after meeting you in January, I'm honestly way more interested in Adrian the person than Adrian the football player. I think you have a
Yeah.
lot more to offer than just football. And I
Oh
think
yeah.
I think um, you know, what did Hard Knocks do for your image externally?
Nothing.
But you
Oh,
mentioned you
are
mentioned in
you like?
another interview that kind of opened doors.
I mean, like for me personally, like externally personally, or just like externally to like social media.
I guess they kind of go hand in hand.
I mean, externally for me personally, nothing. Like I still live the same life I normally do live. I walk around barefoot. I plant plants. Like
Yes.
I build fireplaces. Like I go hikes in the forest. All of it. I mean, meditate, play guitar. I love it. I mean, I'm always trying to find ways to challenge myself, but I'm always taking taking and participating in things that keep me grounded to the earth and that center.
What do you eat? What's your diet consist of?
Well, right now I'm 48 hours into a 72-hour fast.
Nice.
My
One.
I'm a pescatarian, so I only eat fish and veggies. Um, Water, I only drink water, coconut water. Not many processed foods. I try to stay as far away from those as possible. And with
Fruit?
it, oh yeah, fruit all day.
Yeah. We love
Watermelon,
fruit also.
melons, grapes, all of it.
So now the
Berries,
Nice.
berries,
this
nuts.
72-hour fast, what is that process like? You drinking water and American, I think we've done maybe max 30, maybe 36 max. Once you get to like 3 or 4 days, what is that like?
The second day is usually the hardest day.
Mhm.
Like right now I'm in my second day and it's probably the easiest it's been. Um, Probably because I really needed it. I hear like a drone in the air. But second day, third day, usually the hardest. Well, third day is usually easy. Second day is the hardest by far. But when you get to that third day, it's kind of like cake. You're like, I'm at the end. Like this shit's sweet. I get to eat tonight. I'm gonna have such and such and such. I'm gonna eat this fruit. But typically, you try to reintroduce food in a very intentional fashion. So light, very light fruits. If you do have like a protein, like make it be fish or like a light turkey or something like that. But broth is also a really good introductory food. But yeah, it's fun. I love
How
it.
often do you do that?
I so I made a plan to do it every quarter, but I've already done. I'm in my third fast right now. I'm in my third fast this year.
Yeah. Well, from what I take away from that, you're already exceeding your own goals that you set early in the year.
Yeah.
You're challenging yourself very often.
Yeah, I mean that's like my favorite thing to do. Like, why not? How can I how can I hurt myself trying to grow? Like you can
Totally.
only continue to expand because the more you learn, the more you're able to share. And the more you're able to share, the more you're able to, really be a change maker. Like, and
I,
that's at the end of the day, that's my passion to, generate change, transmutate, help
mm.
people understand, become more aware, like self-aware, not just like what's going on outside, but like really leaning into what's going on inside and taking care of you.
Hey,
I
so let me ask you this, right? So I'm someone that definitely struggles to sit still, right? But I love doing things like this. My love for learning came after school, like I know
Yeah,
yours did as
right.
well. So what advice would you give to me as someone that constantly feels on the go? And I don't mind that lifestyle, but to find stillness as you have.
It's a practice, bro. Like it's a practice. Like I promise. Like anything else, like you can't just wake up and bam. Like I'm not moving around a lot. But like if you're intentional about where you're going and you start to set aside time to, be still, be present. Like my process every day. Like, do y'all have processes for yourselves?
How
Yeah,
would you
maybe,
define that? I couldn't even tell you.
Like in the morning, like what's y'all's morning routine?
My
I,
morning routine would be get up, I drink about 15, 20 ounces of water right away, and I get out in the sunlight, 5, 10 minutes in the grass, grounded, come inside, have coffee, usually sit down then and work on some of our podcast clips.
Okay.
Like for me, it's always different, man. Like, and I know that's not great. Like this morning, I had a golf lesson, 7:45. So I got up early for that. But like yesterday, I had a work meeting, so I was there at 10. Got up a little, like it's always evolving. And
Yeah,
sometimes I get up really early to train, work out. So definitely could be a little more structured in that regard. But like I could speak for myself and Evan. We're never just sitting around, right? We're always in motion,
What
for better or
is
for
yeah.
worse. I know we talk about stillness, but we're
No,
always
no,
moving.
and that was like leading me into like a process. Like you you have a process for preparing for the podcast. You
Yep.
have a process for, when you go and train at the gym, but you don't have a process for yourself who is doing all of these things that y'all are doing.
I
I
would
think I think I have a nightly I go on like half a mile walk around 8 p.m. every night after I dinner, walk off my food, call a friend or listen to music or a podcast. Like I've been more structured in the evening, where in the mornings during like the day, there's kind of things just kind of get thrown my way in a good way. I'm not, complaining about what's happening in our lives because I do feel we're advancing confidently, but things just happen. As you know, you've been in the league, you've done a lot in your life as well. Things kind of happen. So that's why I have such respect for you totally going from not 100 to 0, but from crazy to still.
Yeah.
well,
I mean,
Adrian.
and that
Sorry.
was and that was a process too. Like that, like getting from there was not an overnight thing. Like it happened. Like it took it took months, bro. It took like 6, 7 months, and then I'm still refining. I'm still trying to improve on my process.
Adrian, I love how you asked about having a process because prior to you saying that, you don't really think about it all the time. So I would love to hear what your process is when you get
So,
up in your daily routines.
so first of all, I open my
Yeah.
eyes, and I don't just hop right out of bed. My phone's also me and my girlfriend's. Our phones are not. They're in the kitchen when we sleep. Um, so I don't jump straight to my phone. I take 5 to 10 intentional breaths. I roll out of the bed. I go sit in the living room on the couch, and I'll close my eyes for 5 to 10 minutes and just deep breathe, meditate. And from the couch, I'll go to the kitchen where my journal is. I have a 5 minute journal there that I log twice a day. And I have two other journals there too, like a bigger one that I really go deep dives in. And so I'll do my 5 minute journal. If if my son isn't awake, because I usually call him right after my process or in between, um, I continue with the reading. So I read for 20 minutes. Then I'll get on the phone with my son. And then I'll go out.
I love that.
Like I make sure that every day I start the day with some intentional time with me before I go out and, execute things for other people.
Yeah, you can't love others if you don't love yourself.
Yeah. And others don't know how to love you or respect your boundaries or all of those things unless you do all of those for you.
Total. You know what, dude? Another thing, going back to January, that Luminate event, during the breathwork session, that was probably one of the most powerful experiences I've ever had breathing. And it was almost like euphoric. Like I didn't feel like I was gonna pass out, but I felt such a state of consciousness that I've never felt prior. I mean, it was like 90 minutes of yoga and then 90 minutes of breath work. It was a lot going on,
Hey, it
bro.
was for real. I was like, whoa.
There was a lot going on. And I remember like the feeling I got drinking the kava and the whole thing. And I was kind of
Hmm.
like felt everything all at once in the best way possible. But it was a
Yeah.
totally new feeling for me. And it goes to show the power of the breath. And another thing we talked about, I think it was Aaron Rodgers who talked about it, was really like chewing your food, like taking over 100 bites and really breaking it down. Evan's the one that told me about it. So Evan, can you share that story?
Yeah, I don't remember where it came from, but there was a group of people at like a dinner and they told him like, hey, like we're gonna chew this stuff 1,000 times. You're gonna chew it until you can't chew it anymore. and it was like a piece of meat. And by the time he was done with it, he was like, dude, like I feel drugged. Like he felt like he really felt what the food was doing to his body. Like so many people, two, three bites, they're swallowing it, and now they just have trouble digesting it.
All right.
Yeah.
Dang.
It
Right?
was
Isn't it? It's
fascinating.
interesting.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
If you're really conscious about your bite sizes and really breaking down your food, you'll notice that you don't need as much food in a day,
Right.
and you'll actually notice like what that salmon makes you feel like compared to what the apple makes you feel like.
Yeah. I'm
It's
gonna have
just
to
an
Yeah.
interesting thing, yeah.
I'm gonna have to try it out. I only eat twice a day normally anyways, but um I'll definitely try that 100 bites.
Yeah. AC, tell us about your relationship with Jordan Poyer.
Man, Poe, that's my brother. Love him to death, love him to life. Uh he's introduced me to this. He introduced me to all of this. He inspired me to go on that journey with the medicine, and continues to bring me along the journey as he develops Luminate and continues to bring consciousness to the forefront. It's so beautiful, and I'm so grateful for our relationship, our friendship and brotherhood. Um, I I don't know. Words can't really explain it,
Hmm.
man. Jordan has been like a mentor in so many different ways, from when we were training together at Bomberitos in 2018 to, you know, him inspiring me to get sober, like through his story and his journey, and then shoot, bringing me to consciousness. Like he knew I was on that wave, and shoot, he took me to the top of it. And it's awesome because now I've been able to live such a beautiful life because of with his inspiration, and so grateful for his friendship and so grateful for his love.
Yeah. I have great respect for Jordan, and I really believe in what he's building with Luminate too. I was that they're really up to something with that. So it's been cool to see their growth the last. I mean, I discovered them probably late last year, around the time
Yeah,
Enigma came out. So the last 6, 7 months of discovering them and seeing their brand grow has been pretty cool.
yeah, man, it's super dope. Just to watch them continue to grow and continue to expand their reach and the message.
Yes. It's
Hey,
powerful.
what is your advice for someone who just is struggling to put the bottle down and wants to quit drinking?
You gotta have support, man. Like that's the biggest thing, and you really gotta have that desire. Like, as a friend, like, you can want something for someone
Mm-hmm.
as bad as you like, but at the end of the day, until they come to that place of actualization that they do have a problem, and that problem isn't helping anything in their life, no part of it, and that it'll continue to it'll continue to eat at them. It's a parasite.
Yes.
It's a parasite, and I saw it in my relationships. I saw it in friendships. I saw it in the people that was around me. Um, who I am today is not who I was 4 years ago, 5 years ago. I mean, it was a completely different person. Like, this wouldn't be the conversation. And alcohol was a big, big proponent of that. Um, but I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for having that experience to be able to share, and who knows, maybe somebody might be inspired to take the journey of sobriety, or at least finding a way to make it where it's not a damaging part of your life.
Yeah. And I think with the trajectory you're on and the message you're sharing, you're going to reach a lot of people with what you've done and what you continue to do. Adrian, I want to ask you another question regarding the ayahuasca journeys. How have they all been similar and how have they all been different?
So I've only been once,
Okay.
and all of it was different. All of it, but it was beautiful, man. It was such a beautiful, transformative experience that I'll always appreciate, especially with the first time. And I look forward to, my next journey with the medicine. It'll be a beautiful dance.
Beautiful. So, during that first and only experience, did you have an ego death? And if so, can you define ego death?
Oh yeah, I definitely had an ego. Goodness. The last night was the most revealing night, revealing of all things that consumed me and um, had a grip on my life. It was scary. Fear. I looked fear in the eye. Like, you think about fear, you think about death, and I looked death in the eye, and I surrendered. I had to, because it wasn't a pleasant experience, but it was one that I came out from with understanding and appreciation and gratitude and just this unlimited amount of love that I had for this experience.
Is a fair comparison the quote, the road to heaven looks like hell?
Oh yeah, it is 100%. Like, and you gotta sometimes you gotta struggle. Sometimes the struggles don't come through the form of plant medicine. Sometimes they come through the form of a relationship or an experience in your life. And fortunate enough for me, I've had enough of those experiences that the universe thought I stuffed down that I needed that plant medicine to release it.
I understand. Adrian, I have one final question for you. How does one become their own hero?
Man, that is a brilliant question. Um, so I can tell you how I became my hero. I became my hero by waking up and deciding that I was going to be proud of where I was, regardless of where my feet were in that moment. Whether I was where I dreamed I would be, or whether I was in a place where I was filled with or surrounded by people that didn't really care about me, because at the end of the day, like, I put the work in, like, to get to where I am. Like, yes, of course, I had support. I had people loan me money. I had family members that sent me messages and parents that supported me the whole way. But at the end of the day, I was waking up early in the morning my entire life to get to where I was and to achieve what I've been able to achieve. And it wasn't easy. It was never intended to be easy, because if it was easy, we wouldn't have stories to tell. We wouldn't have testimonies to inspire the youth or the next generations to come. I mean, all of these experiences that we have aren't meant to just be ours. They're meant to be shared so we can continue to evolve and expand, like, consciousness and love and community and unity. Like, that doesn't happen when people don't talk. And, I'm grateful for the struggles, but being able to understand and have that gratitude and all that you've experienced, I mean, that's where you become your own hero. When you're able to accept that for you.
I love
Beautiful.
that.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that beautiful answer. Adrian, it's been good to do this. I know you and I have been going back and forth. We're due for a round of golf. And speaking of
Yeah,
golf,
facts.
where can everyone find you on the links and everything you got going on in your life?
Man, check me out on YouTube. Check me out on Instagram on the links, underscore on Instagram, only on the links on YouTube. We are coming, baby. We got new branding coming through, new logo.
Awesome.
Whole vibe is gonna be on another level that people have not seen in golf.
And you know what's nice about it too? It's like a blend of not just golf content, but kind of like a on the course podcast too. There's like
Yeah,
it's good energy. So keep up the great work, bro. Keep working
Hmm.
hard. And we look forward to doing this again in the not too distant future. Adrian,
Abs-
thank you so much, brother.
absolutely. Appreciate y'all.
God bless, man. Thank you.